Chatteroni. I'm here. From my humble stream setup to wherever you are. Sorry I'm late. I've been taking care of Caroline and Farley all day. With you. How y'all feeling out there on the internet? Yes. I know I look like Better Call Saul right now, but I just got out of the shower. How's everybody doing? I'm doing well. How are y'all doing? Good, 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 good. Back to work, back to biz. Clips are still disabled from last week. I don't hate that. I haven't been hating that. I haven't really missed it. Did I see the Metal Gear Solid 3 announcement? No, but Hassan talked about it with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to leave you in suspense. I'll give this right at the top of the stream because we're a little late and I want you guys to know. I thought a lot about tonight's film. I gave it a lot of consideration.
For cool.
And we are going to be watching one of, if not the most requested director and one of, if not the most requested films that this community has ever had. The director is Christopher Nolan and the film is Memento. This film, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's everyone's first indie film, first like off the beaten path Criterion film. So many people are like, Memento, Memento, Memento. And you know what? We're doing it. We're watching Memento. So I'm updating the title right now. There you go. It's Memento. All right. With that being said, with that out of the way, let's look at the MGS 3.
A year of excellent reactant film. Neff Fisto, Neff Fisto, Neff Fisto.
Release. Someone link it for me. Let me see the announcement. Oh my God. Okay. So let's talk about it. Before we actually watch this motherfucker, let's talk about it. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, okay, is
cool.
Thank you, Father, for this feast we are about to receive.
Yes, is my favorite game of all time. I've said this many times, and I think it's in Hassan's top 10. I don't know if it's his favorite game, but for me, I honestly feel like Snake Eater was my favorite gaming experience I've ever had. Period, full stop. It's incredible. It just felt like gaming changed. It really felt like the first open world game where so much of the game was just playing with it, experimenting, seeing what the game would let you get away with. And truly, at times, it felt boundless. Now, I'm not shocked that we're getting a Metal Gear re-release with the success of the Resident Evil re-releases. Obviously, there is a trend in the market that refinishing games for a new audience and for an old audience is successful. However, I'm a little surprised we're starting with Metal Gear Solid 3. I don't I don't get that. I feel like 1 and 2 have their places, and I feel like this would feel more earned. However, there is another way to look at it, and someone already brought it up, chronologically. Maybe they're doing the games chronologically, in which case we'll get Snake Eater first, then 1, then 2, which would be really interesting.
Wow, that's very cool.
Really, really interesting. Now, in a perfect world, what we would get is Snake Eater 1, 2, 4, and then 5 redone and finished. Can you imagine if they actually finish that fucking game? Oh my God. Unbelievable. Unreal. Coomge. Anyway, let's not draw it out. Let's watch this. No shot. Konami doing a half-ass job of Snake Eater as a cash grab. Well, we don't know that. Chronologically, it would be Peace Walker 5th, 4th, 3rd, 1st, and then 2nd. What a thrill. That's the ends parrot already.
The new
Sick.
complete content isn't from Kojima. I don't want it.
Oh, yeah, wow, that's very cool.
I'm going to be honest. I don't care about Kojima being on the project anymore. I'll be real. Death Stranding was such a piece of shit. And the fact that he's making a second Death Stranding, I don't care anymore. I think it's time to accept that Metal Gear is bigger than Kojima. Bad take, but okay. No, it's not. Death Stranding sucked. Death Stranding is a terrible game that is not fun. And it fails because it's so utterly pretentious. I enjoyed it. Did you? Did you really? Did you enjoy it as much as Metal Gear Solid?
Oh,
Because if you say you did, you're lying.
Neff headers, Neff Fisto.
You're just lying. The story was beautiful. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You could keep sucking Kojima's cock if you want. I was one of those people. And then I played the game and I was shocked. I devoted 2 weeks to that game. I played it all the way through. It was terrible. It was one of the worst games I've ever played. It was awful. I'm pretty sure I could hand it to my 6-year-old niece and she'd beat it too. It had no difficulty at all.
What a thrill.
Wow.
Darkness and silence through the night. What a
thrill.
I'm
Interesting. No, I mean, some people are saying if you didn't like it, that's okay. No, I go beyond that. I didn't like Death Stranding. I was offended by it. I was frankly offended by it. I thought it was one of the worst games ever conceived. It's an embarrassment. At no point is the game fun. There is no difficulty to the game at all. You could basically beat it with your feet. I bet if I wanted to, I could beat it with my feet right now. If I put the time in, I don't think I would. I don't think I'd even die. There's no difficulty to the game whatsoever. The fights in the game are a complete joke. What's his name? Remus, whatever that actor is. Harold Remus. I forget his name. He's terrible. It's all laughably stupid. Like the BBs and everything, it's dumb.
Yeah, wow,
it's
cool.
like
Neff
the
Cool
fact
High
that
Squad
he
have a
thought
good
that
movie night.
he could get anybody to buy into that world is a joke. It's like all the good ideas that he had for Metal Gear Solid.
Cool.
He just like smelled his own shit so much that he made a world that was so laughably stupid in Death Stranding, it was a joke. And I committed 2 full weeks to it. I got a surgery and I was like, you know what? I just don't get it. I just got to keep playing. I just got to power through and finish it. I just got to keep going. And I did. I kept powering through and I kept getting deeper and I kept unlocking more of it. And I kept waiting for any of it to be fun or rewarding and not a chore. And it never happened. It was a chore until the very last frame of the game. At no point did I have any fun.
Cool.
At no point did I feel connected to a single character. May God have mercy on his soul for Death Stranding. And to be honest, those of you who are defending the game, you're the reason we're getting a second one.
Oh yeah, wow.
Like maybe if you
You
would
are the
actually be
person
real about how you feel about such a trash game instead of sucking Kojima's cock, we might get another good game out of him instead of him fucking his way down this hole that is Death Stranding. It is because of your like sycophantic support of him that he is going further down this road and we have to endure another Death Stranding. If his fan base had it been honest and told him what an embarrassment that game was, he probably wouldn't be making another one. I'm just saying. Guys, I cannot tell you how hurt I was by Death Stranding. I was the biggest Kojima fan in the world. He changed my life. Like Metal Gear Solid 2 was like when I realized that I had a passion in this life. I sobbed. I became a more complete human being for having played Metal Gear Solid 2. I remember as a kid, it gave me something to strive for. Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite game of all time. It's unbelievable. And 4 and 5, while they're not perfect games, were still just these unbelievably immersive experiences. Unbelievable. And I waited, 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 and I barked as loud as I could that Death Stranding would be good. And I fought and I waited for every trailer or announcement or bait. And I played it unabridged in like a bubble until it came out. And it was just like, oh my God, maybe Kojima was the problem. That was the epiphany I had. It was like this weird feeling where you're like, wait a minute, were those games great because he fought Konami, or were those games great in spite of his influence? Like who were the game makers there? Was him getting reeled in by Konami what made those games great? Would he have made unplayable Drek without someone like putting him on a leash? Dumb take? I don't know if it is a dumb take because there are artists that I think needed their like other Bauer to be great. Like one person I would say that comes to mind is like John Lennon. John Lennon is an incredible genius, right? But without the Beatles, no one talks about Plastic Ono Band. I like Plastic Ono Band, right? But was it the sensation that the Beatles were? Did he need a packaging? Did he need like a you know, rock and roll kind of box to be put in to succeed? With pure creativity and unabound, you know, just freedom, did he make the same kind of compelling projects he made when he was in the Beatles? Absolutely not. Yeah, same thing with Pippin. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe Death Stranding 2 will come out and he will completely redeem himself.
That's very cool.
Movie time.
We'll see. But I don't think I could ever, God, I could try Death Stranding again, but man, oh God. I wish I would have recorded. I was literally right after a surgery and I had 2 weeks just to like focus on the game. I wish I just had a time lapse of like my heart breaking. You know that clip of like Ralph Wiggum when he gets this.
Watch this.
This was me playing Death Stranding.
Second when his heart rips in half.
This was me.
Now.
This was me. Those 2 weeks. I started here. I was like, oh, finally, my dreams come true. 2 weeks later,
Now.
Guillermo del Toro talking about a BB again. I felt the bottom fall out. This is the new Final Fantasy?
The blind march is on. These people live with a knife to their throats.
You have to believe us. We'd help you if we could.
New Final Fantasy sucks? Is it even out yet?
Ping us already.
We never asked to be saved. Did you think we'd thank you? They'll never forgive us. We're all marked now.
Every time you show your faces, it is we who suffer.
Dude, it's so interesting that like Final Fantasy always kind of moves back between like these different eras within like Final Fantasy and these different universes within Final Fantasy. This is almost like the FF2 world. You know what I mean? Like the real, like almost Camelot looking, like old school medieval Final Fantasy shit.
Suffer.
B Boomer, Final Fantasy 2. My brother in Christ, Final Fantasy 2 has been released on almost any platform you've ever played. It's been released on the fucking phone, my guy.
Not so sharp.
You better hope so.
Crystals take more than they give.
God, that combat looks kind of crisp. Lead Belly Loafy. Thank you so much for the 5.
Because Mother Christmas, the reason the world is dying.
God. I tell you what, Final Fantasy was doing sick monsters before fucking FromSoft was. These were the original guys that just knew how to make dope-ass monsters. Is this a Fiert?
To hell with talking. If they won't give us a say, we'll
Yeah, this is like Game of Thronesy.
decide our fates another
Do you like the last Final Fantasy? I don't know if I played it.
way. Are you with me?
Oh, I did play it. It was okay.
Why aren't you
I didn't like the characters at all. I gotta be honest. They didn't speak to me.
dead? You are what branded.
Tell me true. Do you believe what I'm about to do is wrong?
I was forced to kill. You do it by choice.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
They
believe
believe
in
in
the
the
power
power
of
of
the
the dominant.
Thank you for the prime.
For wanting to bring an end to all this. Can you?
Ever led astray by your
Do they have summons in this one?
blind resolve.
Final Fantasy 9 was my last favorite Final Fantasy. I really like 7 and 8 a lot. I really like 7 and 8 a lot.
And thus is the light of hope severed. We don't need your salvation. We'll save ourselves, and we'll do it on our own terms. Come to me, Ifrit!
Oh, there he is.
Very cool.
New FF looks
the
good.
dominants? We are but mighty acts of God.
This. I use my talents to my advantage, and you would
Oh,
tell me there is shame in
what in the world?
A dream! I would be the king of the world! Darkness has taken hold of you. It has made you forget yourself.
I don't want to be a monster. Clive.
I have to stop him. I have to save them.
I'm
Oh,
the promise, my friends. And it is they who will give me the strength to end your reign.
Oh, Jesus.
Your efforts will avail.
If you had to pick one, Final Fantasy or Metal Gear, Metal Gear. Metal Gear are my favorite games of all time. You guys don't understand. Me being critical of Death Stranding was tough on me. I know a lot of people aren't going to believe that because they like Death Stranding, and that's fine. Honestly, if I take a step back, it doesn't matter to me. The reason I'm so adamant about Death Stranding is because my life revolved around Metal Gear. They're my favorite experiences that I've had as a person. We're playing those games, particularly number 3. I probably beat number 3 no less than like 20 times. It was important to me. And I guess part of my failing was that I expected I would get an experience like that. I thought that Death Stranding would be an experience like Metal Gear, and it was something completely different. It was more of Death Stranding was like a labyrinth. Okay. I don't know if you know the difference between a labyrinth and a maze. Okay. A maze, there are wrong directions you can take, right? There are wrong directions you can take. You have to figure it out. A labyrinth, basically, as long as you continue in one direction, you'll get there. And that's how Death Stranding felt. It just felt like a meditation. Like, just make your way through this story and you will experience what it is. And that's kind of what it was. And it didn't satisfy what I was looking for in like this open world, like play with everything, experience everything, have fun. It was much more a meditative process.
Us not. We fight. We survive. We endure.
Thank you so much, No Cap.
From what I understand in the new Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
the summons are inside people, so they basically take over the person they inhabit.
Interesting. I mean, I'm excited about this. How do I feel about Metal Gear Solid 5? I mean, it wasn't a finished game, but obviously the mechanics of it are some of the most fun mechanics to play with ever. Like, some of the things that you get to do in Metal Gear Solid 5 are just so fucking fun,
I'm a
man.
stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone.
Hey Will. Saw some clips from this podcast episode that had Ozzy from Survivor on it. Looks pretty good. Obviously not tonight since it's movie night.
True.
Seems worth checking out sometime maybe.
Well, thank you. I'll check it out. Snake Eater Remake. You know, some people are saying it's a cash grab, and all of a sudden I'm getting like sickness in my stomach. I don't know if I could handle both Cowboy Bebop and Metal Gear Solid 3 being ruined in the same decade. I would have nothing to live for at that point. So I hope it's not a cash grab. God, I hope they do it justice. I hope it's worth it. I hope they expand on it. I hope they give you even more, because I'll be honest, that fight with the end is probably my favorite like moment in gaming ever. It's just like ingrained in my brain. Like the first few times I figured out the different ways that you could beat it, it was just everything to me. Oh God, a Bungie game. What? Don't do this. Don't do this. I know nothing about this game. I know absolutely nothing about this game. It's a Tarkov-like from Bungie. Interesting. Well, you know...
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Holy fucking...
I gotta be honest, and I know you're all gonna be like, Will's so negative tonight. I hate this art style so much. I hate the way it looks. Like crash test dummies, that doesn't get me excited. Ugh. But here's the thing. I do love Tarkov likes.
Oh yeah, wow.
Right? I love Dark and Darker. I love Tarkov. And, you know, I'll give Bungie the benefit of the doubt. And to be honest, if the gameplay absolutely slaps dick, I don't care what it looks like. I don't. So this might be great. I just wish they would have given us a little bit more. Give us a little gameplay. Destiny 2 has some of the most satisfying shooting gameplay ever. No one does shooting like Bungie. Interesting. Playlist of all PlayStation announcements. Did PlayStation have a fucking event today? Why do they still fucking have these events? Just release when you release. It was a huge L? Why was it a huge L?
Sighted in Queens. Closing in now.
I have never played a Spider-Man game in my life. Well, I have. I played the old fucking Nintendo ones, but I haven't played any of these.
Cover the door. The beast could be anywhere.
Okay. Oh no, it's Black Suit Spider-Man. I thought it was Venom for a second. I was excited.
No idea. Spider-Man! This whole lizard hunt ends now! Leave Connors alone!
Okay. Really, really exciting. Keep it tight, man. Watch out for those drones.
Yeah, I think this game would piss me off.
Just
Guys, you know that I don't really like single player games all that much. I don't like being told what to do. By the way, I actually like Darkest Dungeon 2 now. I came back and I beat the first boss and I like it now. It's good. There was just far too much reading at first. Once I got past all the reading, I enjoy Darkest Dungeon because I like that level of difficulty. But I don't know, games that just are like, just play through it. I think I'm just past that point in my life. You must be a big fan of Souls games. Big fan. I love Souls games. I fucking adore them because they're hard.
any difference at the end of the day.
If a game isn't hard, I have a really hard time getting into it.
You know better than anyone else. That no one could escape.
What is this? Ooh.
Where's a mask? You too!
This is a
Okay, I like this guy.
real face!
He let you live?
Sekiro clone?
You sell him.
Only a dead person can keep a secret.
Oh, yo, he's got the Master of Flying Guillotine head fucking ripper. Okay. Okay. Listen, I don't know if this game's gonna be any good, but that sparked joy. The Master of Flying Guillotine reference.
Going where? This damned place! You're suicidal!
One last toast. And we're all done.
I have no idea what to think of that game because a game with, you know, that much going on, it better be like dank. It better feel dank on your hands. Do you know what I mean? It better feel good to play. It's not enough if it looks good. It's got to feel right. Yo, Capcom's been on one recently, so let's see.
You do not remember? Then have you forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames?
You need only believe in your own destiny, Arisen.
Horse.
Oh, that's very cool.
Will wants his video games to make him feel dank. I think there's a plant for that, though.
True.
Is in your hands, Sir Arisen.
Praise be, for only the Sovereign's guidance can lead us true. Long live the Sovereign of Vermont!
Oh, harpy titties?
Most unfortunate.
but it doth not release thee from thy fate.
And this is supposed to potentially be multiplayer? Okay. All right. By the way, would you guys actually want me to play the Spider-Man games, seeing as though I've never even touched one before? Yes, no, no, nah, no, yes, no, nah, no. Okay, mostly no's. I think that's all the big trailers, right? Yeah. Dude, now I'm just stressed about Metal Gear Solid. Now I'm just fucking stressed about this. It is pretty cool that it's the Ends parrot, though. Look at the plucky squire. The plucky squire. All right. Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Edges of their realm, and even
I love the art style of this.
beyond.
Heart sauce, thank you.
There, Jock finds a whole new world to explore, with dangers, surprises, and attractively furnished accommodation. Our heroes must battle humdrum.
Thank you so much.
The two realms, if they are to save their beloved land from his diabolical designs.
This looks fun. That looks cool. All right, no more video game stuff. I get this feeling I wanna be where you are. Alan Wake 2. I've never even played Alan Wake 1. I don't even know what it is. Alan Wake.
I'm trapped here. In this nightmare. I write to escape. Every word is a step forward. Into darkness.
I'm glad you're on this case.
You know, there are some mixed opinions in chat about this game.
Anderson, it's right up your alley.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale.
So you knew our victim?
Only the rumors. He was chasing a writer.
Someone knew they were here. Was playing a game with them.
Killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us.
We were all trapped in a horror story. The horror story wanted us dead.
Lots of opinions in chat.
Oh! Something I'm forgetting. Something important. Something's not right!
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
Well, that didn't tell me much, but it might be cool. I get this feeling I wanna be where you are. All right, that's enough trailers. Metal Gear trailer with commentary.
If this is not Metal Gear Solid 3, shut the fuck up. Oh Jesus, that's scary. That would have been insane. Imagine Metal Gear Solid 3 look like that. That would have fucking. I would have lost my mind.
He doesn't know.
Wait.
No
is a
sabe.
snake eating. Wait. Stop. Stop. No show. Oh! 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 Dude! Oh! Oh, it is!
Bro, how could anybody say this announcement was mid with Metal Gear Solid 3 in there?
Oh, I'm soying! Oh! I'm coming! Oh my god!
Dude, that's awesome. It leaked? Oh, that's too bad. I mean, literally, I woke up to a text message from Hassan saying, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I was like, oh, shit. I'm so afraid they're going to fuck it up. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm old and bitter now. I have no faith in anyone or anything. Everything's going to be terrible.
This is the story of Alejandro. His mother gave him everything.
Hassan, not a gamer, BTW? No, Hassan's a gamer. He just didn't get into a lot of the games that Twitch is into.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Whoa.
Like, it's, you know what's really funny? Someone said copium. You know what's really funny? Every time I've gone out with our group of friends to an arcade, I absolutely fuck them. Like, if you hop up on the sticks with like these kids that are professional League and Valorant players, I dunk on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different era of gaming, to be honest.
But she had a recurring dream of Alejandro leaving the safe world she created, where he'd face the dangers she tried so hard to keep him from.
Lo siento, señora Fuentes, pero inmigración decidió
So this is a new A24?
considerar la aplicación.
What the fuck?
Alejandro Martínez Fuentes, pero inmigración decidió no considerar la aplicación. Alejandro Martinez.
Yes, hi, let's speak.
Mr. Khalil's ready for you.
Thank you.
Okay, look, you don't have a while. You have a month to find someone to co-sign your visa. And if you don't, you have to leave the U.S.
I started freelancing for this lady.
I'm late. I know I'm late. I'm so late. Oh, this menu. What is it with walnuts? Walnuts, walnuts, walnuts. It's like a cafe for squirrels.
Walnuts, they go very nicely with the salad.
Do I look like I need educating on fine cuisine?
You think this lady can sponsor you?
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. Oh.
Is this your dream, making toys?
Yeah.
Help me curate an exhibition, and I'll sponsor you.
Other thing is, you can't take money right now.
He must find a sponsor and pay fees to earn money. The maze is impossible to navigate.
Wait, I mean, this sucks so much for you.
I'm barely keeping afloat.
Your boss is a monster.
I need to get paid.
She's the Hydra.
Such a nightmare.
None of those options. Human being.
Elizabeth, let me talk.
I question if you are ready for this job.
Why are you making everything so difficult?
You don't know what it is to really want something, to be on a mission, journeying into the unknown.
It sounds brave.
It's so simple, Alejandro. This is it. The sky's the limit. Oh, El Salvador. Pupusas.
Yes.
And those nuns they killed in the 80s.
Right. So...
I mean, it's A24. It'll probably be good. It looks weird. Tilda Swinton, of course. Missed it. Did you watch Beau is Afraid? No, I've been taking care of Caroline and Farley the last few days, basically. Did you see the new The Creator trailer? The Creator? What is this?
I know.
You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. I said that basically I don't think it's going to be good. And a big reason is They fucked up this kid's design. This is insane. I don't know. It might be good, but they made like the robo humans pretty horrific to look at. It's like so uncanny valley that I don't know if like the vast majority of audiences will be like, oh, I'm sympathetic to this. That might be the point. Wow, you're giving that director a lot of credit. Metal Gear Solid 3 screenshots. No way. Oh my. Oh my God. Oh. 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 I remember this building. Revolver Ocelot is in there somewhere. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. It's the same engine as Horizon Zero Dawn. Never played that game.
D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go. Today I'm going to be using these translucent blue, green, and purple dice that were sent in by a viewer. Thanks. Let's get it started with our roll for bread.
Here we go. A classic.
1. Uncrustables. If you're unfamiliar with Uncrustables, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich wrapped.
What the fuck? You can't use a sandwich as a... What?
1. Uncrustables. If you're unfamiliar with Uncrustables, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich ravioli. Basically 2 slices of bread with the crust cut off, fused together. I have strawberry today, and we're putting 2 of these on the plate and gonna build a sandwich in between them. All right, next up, let's roll for our main. 6. Salami. Round meat for our round bread.
No. No.
Salami and strawberry isn't a bad pairing. It's giving charcuterie. Next up, let's roll for cheese.
It's not.
2. Pepper jack. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the round slices of pepper jack, so square is going to have to do, but I'll add a nice little bite. What are you waiting for? Another piece of cheese? Let's roll that beautiful bean roughage. 6 cucumber and 7 pickled jalapenos. Don't call it a comeback, but cucumber returns. This seeming favorite of the dice will add a nice crunch. I'm okay with it. Then we'll get a little more spice and some tanginess from the pickled jalapenos.
That's very cool.
There are definitely
Truax 666, thank you.
Here. So far, I'm thinking everything's going to work okay together, but I guess we'll see about that. All right, let's get dangerous. 13 tahini.
It's always tahini. He always rolls tahini.
Honestly, this is pretty perfect. Tahini is great on vegetables and fruit, and the chili and lime flavors should pull things together nicely here. All right, well, last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. 8. Comeback sauce. Comeback sauce is originally...
What is comeback sauce?
From Jackson, Mississippi, and can best be described as a tangy sauce that combines elements of mayo and hot sauce.
Okay, that sauce actually sounds dank, but just not on a fucking PB&J.
Let's get this bad boy closed up here. Get our toothpicks in to hold it together, and let's get it cut in half. Let's take a look at that cross.
No!
Like the strata of this one. The sandwich between 2 grilled cheese sandwiches worked pretty well. Let's see how the sandwich between 2 peanut butter and jellies goes.
So, where I'm from, this is called a stoner burger, where you put PB&J on a burger, but I've never seen PB&J on like a salami sandwich.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's give it a taste. So the peanut butter and spicy elements give a little bit of that kind of Thai sensation that I've gotten before in other sandwiches. And the tahini,
he loves it.
Salami,
he fucking loves it.
They all go together in a nice, bright combination of flavors. This is low-key pretty good. Unexpected, but welcome.
He fucking loves
and this
it.
is why I put
7.5.
The weird elements on Roll for Sandwich is because you never know how things are going to turn out. I'm going to give this sandwich an 8.9.
Insane.
The crustless cucumber comeback. Appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see
Insane. 8.9. Insane. His scale is, I just wish I could sit down with him and be like, hey, man, what's a 10? You know, is any sandwich that you get from a restaurant a 10? Because you just ate an Uncrustable sandwich and said that it was 1 point away from perfect. What are we talking about, man? What are you doing here? You know, you gotta set a standard, okay? A lot of people look to you for sandwich answers. Oh God, yes. Dude, on the next Fear End, we ordered Austin clothes.
Wow, that's very cool.
That he said he wanted to incorporate into his look, and they're here. Oh my God. Gay dress up with Austin is going to be amazing. Will the Thrill, thank you so much. Also, thank you all for joining me here tonight. I hope you're having a good time. I hope I'm helping you kill some time. I hope you're laughing. I'm pretty tired and strung out, but you know.
Cool.
Hope you and Caroline's post-EDC recoveries are going okay.
They're going. Thank you. Debunking the Pixar mom ass meme? Minor Threat, thank you for the 5. I appreciate you. Neon sign or not on? Yeah, my AAA batteries ran out. I got to get some more.
Posts like this for the last 2 years, and it makes me want to shit a semi-truck. I don't get how people are spoon-fed so much horny to believe every single Pixar mom has a dump truck ass. The majority of people always piggyback on
Jesus Christ.
this character, which for a fact is not even a Pixar character. It's from a Disney short. So today I'm going to show you all the Pixar mom.
Hey, yo. For real, though, this is fucking nuts, bro. What are they doing over at Disney?
Pixar character, it's from a Disney short. So today I'm going to show you all the Pixar moms that are qualifiable for with or without ass. A majority of them, spoilers, have no ass.
That's
Toy
cool.
Story.
1 year
Andy's
king.
mom. Tell me there's ass there. Tell
Thank you for the year.
me A Bug's Life. You look me in the eyes and tell me thorax is ass. You tell me with a straight face. Toy Story 2.
I mean.
Same flat mom, same flat ass. Monsters Inc. The monsters must have scared all the moms away, cause there's none here. Finding Nemo. There's literally a mom and her child and the dentist with no ass. I'm not gonna mention Marlon's wife or any of the other fish parents in the movie because they are fucking fish. Incredible. Okay, moving on. Cars.
Wait a minute! You can't just breeze over the cornerstone of the debate. Moving on. That's the GOAT. Miss Incredible is the one who started this whole thing.
Cars. Even if there were moms here, you want to call this ass? Do you want to call this ass? Ratatouille. Nobody has mothers in this movie, not even this filthy rat. Wall-E. How does anyone in the ship have children to begin with? If you want to say they have a big ass, I don't know, go off, I guess? Up. Ellie couldn't have children, and Russell's mom is long gone. Do not count Kevin. Toy Story 3. Andy's mom still ain't got shit going on, but Bonnie's mom, she got a little something. Cars 2. Brave. Where do you see on this queen there's a fat royal ass there? What? No. Monsters University. Are you crazy? Get out of here! Inside Out. Riley's mom. Okay. She's got a little something. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. The Good Dinosaur. What? Finding Dory. There's only a short shot between the two moms, and every other mom is a fish! Cars 3.
Coco.
Y'all need your eyes checked. These are all mothers, and this one is literally bones! Incredibles 2. Never mind. Toy Story 4.
Yeah, you can't do this twice, man! This is the stone on which the church was built. You have to address Miss Incredible. She's out of control.
Toy Story 4, aside from Bonnie's mom, you got this woman in the store and the one that lost her kid. Neither of them have nothing. Onward. All right, I get it. Soul, you are all off of your rockers. Puka, whether she's human or not, she's still a giant fish! Don't get me started. This movie hasn't even come out yet. Let's inform people about Pixar mom's ass again or I'm gonna kill you in my own fat ass!
Interesting. I disagree. I disagree. I mean, he basically looked at the evidence and just threw it out, right? He looked at the cornerstone on which the argument is built and he's like, yeah, who cares about that? You know, it's crazy. What's really behind the Pixar dump truck meme? There's a whole conspiracy investigation. There's a whole conspiracy investigation. And it's interesting because a lot of characters were left out in that man's investigation. Mirage in The Incredibles, Go-Go in Big Hero 6, the mom from Big Hero 6. Also, apparently there's no dump trucks in Toy Story. What about Barbie? I will not be silenced. Okay. Enough of that shit. All right. Enough bullshit. It's 8:30. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a time-honored tradition here in this community, and that's we like to watch movies. Now, you may or may not know this, but I'm a big nerd. You know this. And nerds are opinionated. And so if I ever have a big opinion on something, it's because I'm a fucking nerd, and I like to have big opinions on things. And film is great for that. And so every Wednesday, I like to sit down and I like to watch a film that I either enjoy or I think that you're going to enjoy, or I think that we can learn something from, or I think that is important. And this film is one of those unique films that cover all three areas of that Venn diagram. It's fun. You can learn something from it, and I enjoy watching it. It's Criterion. It's great. We're watching Memento tonight. So Memento is one of the early films from a director you may know, Christopher Nolan. Nolan obviously goes on to direct some of the biggest films of all time in The Dark Knight, in the upcoming Oppenheimer, Tenet, Interstellar, Inception, just a few of these films. Now, those are all giant films, right? Those are huge, built out studio films with a bunch of special effects and a giant budget. Memento is not one of those films. Memento is a very small, contained, whodunit kind of almost noir with a really interesting twist. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that twist is, but because I want you to experience it. But this film has a really interesting wrinkle that would go on to be used to make another film called 50 First Dates, which not as good. But this movie is enormously creative. And it's interesting because this is one of the most requested film night films ever. I don't know what it is about Memento, but I think at some point in its history, it was one of those films that found its way into the early DVD bargain bins of America. And it's a film that a lot of people took a chance on, maybe because it had a good cover art, you know, the symptom of children growing up on thumbnails. But a lot of people gravitated towards this movie. And for a lot of people, it was like baby's first Criterion film. Guy Pearce, the director, is the principal talent in this film, and he does an incredible job. Also, Trinity from The Matrix, aka Carrie Ann Moss, plays a large role in this film, and it's just a really unique film with a great twist that'll keep you locked in till the very last frame. Now, the nice thing about this movie is that it's been around for forever. So if you don't have access to watching it on Amazon Prime, you can check right now. If you are in a region where it's available. If you don't have availability to that, it will be very easy to find an alternative link. Obviously, my mods and I will help you with that. But if you can't watch with us, this is a really easy one to find an alternative somewhere else. Now, if you can't find an alternative or you're just too fucking lazy to, you can always watch in the Discord, which is pinned right on the top of the chat right now. When you join the Discord, we will be featuring alternative viewings. Why do we do this? Well, because it's a legal workaround for people who cannot use Amazon Prime to watch a concurrent viewing of someone Discord streaming their viewing of the Prime watch party. It's legal. It's a workaround. It helps get more people involved, and it's a great solution for a very nuanced problem. Now, some of you are going to be asking, why do we watch on Amazon Prime Watch Party? Well, first of all, it's a great utility provided by some great people, Night Arc, I hope you're here, who have put a lot of work into making it so that we can utilize our partners at Amazon Prime and a lot of the media that they own or have licensed. So the other great thing about this is it protects me both from DMCA and TOS. And surprise, surprise, this film has some TOS. So things that would typically get me banned no longer will. Okay, that's my spiel. Last thing, I don't control your viewing of this film. You can turn on the subtitles. You can adjust the volume. I can't do any of that. So please, I know one of you is going to do it, but don't do it. Don't ask me to fix your fucking volume. Don't ask me to turn on the fucking subtitles. All right, that's it. Okay. The last thing is I'm about to give you 3 minutes. In those 3 minutes, please go get your snacks, get your blankets, turn out the lights, do whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable so that you can enjoy this viewing of Memento. After the film, I will give a brief lecture, usually around 10 minutes, about the film, about the director, about what you can take away from the filmmaking style, what you can learn. After that, I'll open it up to questions, and you can badger me with any questions you want. Preferably, those questions are about that film or that director that actor, because some people will just be like, Power Rangers Secret of the Ooze ? And I'll be like, yep, that's a movie from when I was 12. I'll give the best answer I can give based on what you put in front of a question mark. You know what I mean? If you go, hey, is Power Rangers Secret of the Ooze one of the best made children's films of that era in relation to Memento and Nolan's work? And my brain wheels will turn and I'll be like, and I'll do my best answer. But if you just put a film title and a question mark, sometimes I don't know what the fuck you're asking. Okay. With that being said, here is a brief set of rules. It'll take 3 minutes to watch. If you've never watched these before, please watch them. Make yourself familiar. For everybody else, you got 3 minutes to go get yourself comfortable. I'll be back, and then we'll watch Memento. Thanks. Be right back.
It's a groovy time for a movie time. So grab your gap and grab a seat. But don't forget to get something to eat. Delicious meat and nutritious meat.
You can't beat my meat for a special treat. Sucking on me is really neat.
Don't be a jerk and don't be a fool. Be a good neighbor and follow these rules. What are these rules?
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Don't watch.
Don't pull your penis out unless
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Recent exposure is a class 2 felony.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Movie fucking night, let's fucking go. Oh.
All right. All right. We're back. I grabbed some ice cream, and now it's time to enjoy Memento. Starting the watch party. Boo-doo-doo.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Neff cozy.
I haven't watched this movie in so long. I'm so excited. Literally the first time you're able to watch with Prime Canada? Hell yeah. Great chop. Oh, God. I love how you can already see like the DNA for Inception and shit. You know what I mean? And Tenet, yeah. Huh? Did the movie start? I can't hear. Turn up the volume. God damn it. Don't believe his lies. Jesus. Ha. Oh, thank you. Dude, I forget, just like this movie pulls you in so fast and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Remember Sammy Jenkins? That must suck. Jesus. The timeline is so fucking... It's not Bill Burr. Remember Sammy Jenkins. Trust me, I need to write this down. Trust me, motherfucker. thank you for the 21 months. Neff whammy, Neff whammy, Neff whammy, Neff whammy. Neff whammy, Neff whammy. Jesus Christ. Well, he's got a system. Fact 1, male. Fact 2, white. Fact 3. Jesus Christ. Dude, this movie is such a mind frag. Trinity. Jesus. Yeah. Honest. Fucking Sammy Jenkins. This fucking guy. Bill Burr. It's Bill Burr. Oh yeah, wow. Thank you guys for the subs during film night. The alerts are off, but I appreciate you. How you doing, Leonard? This son of a bitch. Dude, the way that scenes run into each other is so trippy. Huh? Oh, shit. Yeah, you wake up with a guy that has a tattoo that says that. Oh my God. Fuck no. I'm sorry. No. Officer Dangle. So fucked up. Thank you, Sarnat. Someone said this movie is awful. Someone's having a hard time keeping up. It's okay. The first time you watch this movie, you should be lost as hell. You're playing Darkest Dungeon, the movie. That's my schnipple. Jesus Christ. Jesus. I don't know. I don't think they'd let someone like me carry a gun. It's America, baby. Brutal. Oh, God. Not right now. Fuck. Oh, I'm chasing this guy. Sorry. It's always interesting how they tail end. Who said? Oh, wait. He's a cop. I'm chasing this guy. Wait, he's chasing me. Can't remember to forget you. Great line. Blonde's fine. She's like, okay. Sammy Chankus. Jesus Christ. So funny that two actors that would be in The Matrix are in this movie. Bill Burr and her. Don't believe her lies. At what point does it make sense? Well, some things should start making sense a little bit. Thank you, cool man. Jesus Christ. Have you seen the video of Nolan explaining this movie on YouTube? It's really good. No, I'd love to watch it though. Huh? That's sweet. That one's dusty. Chat. No, no, no. Jesus Christ. Unpopular Dave, thank you. Yeah, that and your thing. Ha. How far in are we? Well, technically, it's just starting. All right. Well, we made it through a full watch party without any issues. Huge thank you to the people over on the watch party team. You're doing an incredible job, and thank you so much. We didn't have a single issue that time, so not much for you to observe, but pretty good. There's no problems. So everybody give a shout out to the watch party team, because I think a lot of them were here tonight. So give them a big thank you, because they make this all possible. And they're awesome. Probably the best team at Twitch. Okay, so a lot to talk about with this one. So Memento is an early film by director Christopher Nolan. And a lot of you know Nolan for work after Memento. Obviously, this film is pretty early in his timeline, and I am sure that a lot of you were seeing it for the first time tonight. Jack's okay. Thank you for the Prime. Ads, no? Well, subscribe. So it's interesting to watch a film like Memento in the same way that it's interesting to watch Bottle Rocket. Bottle Rocket is a early film in the if you've never seen Bottle Rocket, sorry, God, thank you. If you've never seen the film Bottle Rocket, it is a $5 million movie by Wes Anderson, and it's like one of Wes Anderson's first. And there you go. You got Owen Wilson and Luke Wilson in it. And it's interesting in the same way that you can kind of see like a blueprint for what a lot of their subsequent films will look like. Bottle Rocket, kind of in that it's got that stage play vibe to it, and the way that he frames shots starts there and then develops into his subsequent pictures, and now is so emulatable that even an AI can make a trailer for his movies. But with Nolan, you get some elements of his work, particularly the super fractured timeline of Memento, or how Nolan approaches time. Now, in a ton of his movies, it's almost kind of a theme that is not as direct as some of his other things that he does, but a fractured timeline is present in a lot more of his films than you would initially think. Interstellar, Tenet, Inception, Memento, they all have a very unique way of approaching time in a film. Even The Prestige. Yeah. So it is a really cool kind of first, let's call it an amuse-bouche into the works of Nolan. The thing is, most of us are so familiar with his film in general that rarely will we start with Following or Memento, which are two of his first projects. Most of us will start with Dark Knight or Interstellar or something, and then go back and watch it and see those first steps and go, oh. But obviously, Christopher Nolan has almost what I would call an obsession with manipulating and changing the linear formats of films. Now, one really amazing thing exists. There is a chronological cut of Memento. I believe it's even in the DVD special features, where you, after you watch the movie, can watch it again in chronological order. In which case, it's a lot less confusing but also it is a lot less cinematic. From the very first scene in the movie, you go, oh, I know exactly what's going on with this guy. And we just kind of have to see how it plays out. Now, obviously, it helps organize some of those scenes running into those other scenes. And it's fun to watch kind of as a companion to the actual film. But the structure of Memento is so brilliant, where it is, instead of having a mystery, you have a story that is very obvious devolve into a mystery, and we just watch it from the back to the front. So if you really think about Memento, it's not a mystery at all. If you consider it from a traditional timeline, it's really the most obvious story in history. The guy literally gives you a monologue in the first scene of the film where he goes, listen, I'm a cop. I helped you find the guy you wanted to kill. You killed him, and then nothing changed. You just went back to forgetting everything. And then I used you, and I've used you to kill who knows how many people over the course of a year. And this is just the latest guy I've had you kill for me. And it's like such a brazenly simple plot line. You get a guy with a memory issue to become your hired gun, your killer. But with the way it plays out, it's so fun to go from trusting characters to not trusting characters. You know, at first, some of these characters are sympathetic. You know, at first you're like, oh, Carrie-Anne Moss has got to be a good guy. Mark Boone Jr., Bert, he's got to be the charismatic guy who works at the hotel. Even Teddy. Even Teddy, at one point, you're like, wait, Teddy's the only guy helping him. And then you're like, wait, Teddy's a fucking monster. Wait, Teddy is trying to help him. No, Teddy's a fucking monster. So Teddy Gambell, or Bill Burr, as you guys like to call him. So the structure of the film is one of the coolest parts of the movie. Now, obviously, there is a famous, well, I guess it's not famous, but an interesting thing I have read about Memento, where one film author basically talks about the timeline as a gimmick. And they basically say that Nolan's use of time in Memento isn't a gimmick. A gimmick would be if Guy Pearce, had, like, I don't know, if there was some MacGuffin in the film that never was answered or explained and is in a chicken suit. That is, I think, from the exact article. But the way that the film unfolds is not gimmicky. It is very deliberate. Anyway, one thing I thought we would watch before we get any deeper, something I haven't watched. This is Christopher Nolan talking about the timeline in Memento. So we're going to take a look at this and then I'll talk more.
The screenplay is an extrapolation of his basic idea, which I was fascinated by. And he told it to me while we were driving cross-country between Chicago and Los Angeles. And we both decided right away that by far the most interesting way of approaching that concept was subjectively, to tell the story in the first person. So he went off to write his short story. I went off to write the screenplay. And my solution to telling the story subjectively was to...
By the way, the person in question that he's talking about is his brother, Jonathan Nolan, who wrote the short story.
Deny the audience the same information that the protagonist is denied. And my approach to doing that was to effectively tell the story backwards. That way, when we meet a character, we don't know, just like the protagonist, how he's met that person, whether he's even met that person before, or whether or not they should be trusted, that kind of thing. So the story is basically told backwards. It's basically told as a series of flashbacks that go further and further back in time.
Are there subtitles?
Similar to my brother's story, as he finally finished it. It's being published next month, actually, in Esquire magazine in the States. And the similarity in structure is that both the film and the short story deal with repetition and internal echoes. And also, they both alternate between the objective and the subjective. So in the screenplay, what I did is I said, I need a way of breaking up the flashbacks so that we separate the scenes in our mind and feel this progression further and further back in time. So what I did is I alternated between these color sequences that are intensely subjective. Everything in the color sequences is from Leonard's point of view, at least to begin with. We alternate with these black and white sequences that, at least to begin with, are objective. They're presented a little bit more in a filmy way. It's black and white, it's grainy. The shots are sometimes overhead, a little bit more distance. It's a more objective view. We don't hear the voice at the other end of the telephone. We're not really in his head. The voiceovers in the color sequence and the black and white sequence are very different. In the color sequence, it's the voice of the mind. It's the first person. It's very much his thoughts as he's thinking them. In the black and white scenes, they sound a bit like interview grabs. You know, a bit like this kind of interview, edited and laid over pictures of him in this room going about his life. So I wanted to introduce this almost documentary style element at the beginning of the film to give the audience a little bit of information, objective information about how this guy lives his life and what he thinks, and to break up these scenes. So the black and white sequences, the chronology is forward. They run forward in time, as we realize as we go further and further along the film. As the film progresses, the color sequences become a little bit less intensely subjective. I think towards the end of the film, we really start to step outside his head a little bit and start to question some of the things we've been told about this character, or some of the things he's told us himself. The black and white scenes, on the other hand, as the movie progresses, they become less and less objective. We start to get more and more into his head as he exists in this motel room. And in fact, then the black and white and the color scenes actually meet towards the end of the movie. And I think these two perspectives, the objective and the subjective, the backwards running narrative and the forwards running narrative, they actually meet at what is the end of the movie. Chronologically, I guess you could call it the middle of the movie.
Just to...
Can you draw the line between the black and white scenes and the...
No, just put it like...
Thank you, Caroline Kwan, for the raid.
Like you've got these...
We're just talking about Memento.
And then you have the color, and then a line for the black and white, and then the flashbacks and
all right,
the
let's
story.
have a go.
Okay.
It's confusing because I don't think pictorially, diagrammatically. So, okay, what do you have? You have the beginning of the film here. What's the best way to draw it? The best way to draw it is as a hairpin, like that. That's basically the end of the movie. This stuff is the black and white stuff.
So good.
Oh yeah, wow,
This is
that's
color.
very cool.
Quan raid.
And this is running backwards as a series of jumps.
So good.
Cut between the two the whole way through. So we alternate scene here, scene there, scene there, scene there, scene there, scene there, and they meet towards the end of the film. But then within this, you have flashbacks to a different timeline, which is actually even earlier, somewhere around there. Also within this, you have flashbacks to an earlier time, also somewhere within there. So I guess you could use the hairpin shape to represent the bulk of the film, with the black and white, with the color, meeting in the last reel, the end of the film being sort of there-ish, after it turns into color and kind of leads us into the beginning of that preceding scene. But you have other material that actually precedes the beginning of the black and white scenes. And the gap between the beginning of the black and white scenes and this long-term memory stuff, some of which is color, some of which is black and white, that gap is unspecified. the lead character, because of his particular condition, he can never know how long that's been. He's cut loose in time, effectively. So we never wanted to specify for the audience. We imply a length of time to it, because it's the time in which he's had these tattoos put on, he's been living this life, and so forth. So that gap, to me, is where the most interesting...
1 year? No, it's been 1 year since he killed the first John G.
Step foot.
You don't know how long it's been since his accident.
And, you know, specify too many of these things in terms of an objective reality. Because to me, one of the interesting things about the film and what we were trying to do is essentially present an idea of the tension between our subjective view of the world, the subjective way in which we have to experience life, and then our faith in an objective reality beyond that. And most movies present a quite comfortable universe where we're given an objective truth.
And is it correct that his wife didn't die in the accident? As I understand it, yes. He's the one who killed his wife with insulin.
We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to step outside his head. We wanted to present the audience with that problem, effectively, and say, he can't ever get outside his head and recognize what the objective truth is. So I think the audience at the end of the film is left to make certain of the same judgments that he is. They're invited to believe or disbelieve certain elements of what is supposed to have happened in his life, much as he is. And I think the way that we try and focus on this end of the film and making that as extreme as possible is by taking this subjective view and this objective view and effectively having them meet at the end, so that what we achieve is still subjective, but with enough objective information built into it that we start to question the point of view that we've been given for the whole film. So that's about it.
But film is written, of course, if you have the flashbacks and the story. Where do you choose the moment to build it in your in this hairpin structure?
Well, within the hairpin structure, we have different elements of his past life that we want to introduce. And the way we divided them is that certain of them are presented in black and white, and those are the ones that relate to a
Is the real John G a cop?
that runs parallel.
Well, if you... all right, we'll talk about all this.
Character.
Okay, well, basically he further breaks that down after that. Okay, we'll answer questions. Was the original John G a cop? Well, you don't really know, but if you want to believe Teddy, which the very first note in the movie is don't believe Teddy, no, he was a junkie. He was just kind of a junkie, robber, piece of shit, wrong place, wrong time. That's the only information you get about the initial John G. And it's from your unreliable narrator. So up to you on whether or not you want to believe that or not. All right, other questions. Ted is the only one to believe, in my opinion. Yeah, but I think the part of the point of the scene with Trinity being so fucking hateful towards the main character is basically to show you it doesn't matter what you tell him at any given point, and why would anyone bother to tell him the truth or be kind to him at any point other than to try and arrive at a destination with him. Her intention was to get him to beat the shit out of her so she could come back in with a bloody nose and further motivate him to go kill her boyfriend, or the cop, sorry. And so, you know, who knows if Teddy is telling him anything truthful at that point. Do you think Natalie sees what Teddy did and uses Lenny the same way? Yes. Yes. Did he kill John G before his wife died? No. No. I think his wife died first. And I think he killed his wife. By accident, but I think for the most part, he is Sammy Jenkins. Did he kill Teddy? Yeah, that's the one thing that you know for sure. It's the very first scene of the movie is him putting a bullet in Teddy's head. Was there a movie with a similar premise, but with a woman possibly a convict?
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
50 First Dates?
Where did Sammy G come from? Can he actually remember before the incident?
Okay, so I think that gets into another premise in this film, the lies we tell ourselves. There is a long part in the film where he basically talks about Sammy's condition, which then we find out is his condition. And he makes the point that all the doctors agree that even though he can't form memories, he should be able to condition himself, right? He should be able to condition himself. And one of those conditions could be maybe to remember that his wife had him kill her or that he killed his wife. However, just like in the case of Sammy, who can't remember what he's grabbing, what happens if the person doesn't want to remember those things? What happens if the person is choosing not to remember those things? What happens if the person is choosing to lie to themselves? And that's kind of a premise you get into and is illustrated very nicely at the end of the movie, in that our main character is choosing to continue the hunt. He's choosing to continue the lie. At different points in the timeline, he knows that he has killed John G. He knows that there have been subsequent John Gs. He knows that there's nothing else to hunt for. And yet he's got to give himself something to do, a reason to live, something to lie to himself for. The psychology academic domain is still very juvenile. There's still a lot we don't know about the human mind. That is true. I don't think that's the point Nolan is trying to make. I think Nolan's using the condition as a vehicle. Are there films like this prior to Memento?
Yeah, wow, that's very cool.
So the moment when he stopped at the tattoo shop is the first scene chronologically?
No, the first... Oh, chronologically. No, the first scene chronologically is him with his wife, the incident. It's like outside of the forgetful timeline. As a vehicle or force complexity to mask absurdity. That's a very interesting take about this film. If you didn't like this movie, you didn't like this movie. I think you're overthinking it, though. I think you can just kind of enjoy that it's a good noir mystery. Are there similar films to this like this before Memento? No. I mean, you got like The Usual Suspects. Nolan did another film called like Following, which kind of has a similar feel. It's not the samey. But films based in amnesia definitely took a hike after Memento, is what I will say. There were a lot of Memento clones. A lot. Probably films you've seen. Could you argue Reservoir Dogs just on the virtue of nonlinear? I mean, if the argument is just simply a nonlinear... if that's your argument, there are a lot of films then that you can throw in there. Annie Hall, City of God, Adaptation. There are a lot of films you can throw. Citizen Kane, even, you can argue are just non-linear films. I think Memento definitely had like a very specific feel of like who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. when you get more perspective through the broken timeline, you understand more, blah, 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 blah. Dude, where's my car? True. I once heard the line that flashbacks were a bandage for bad storytelling. Memento told a completely backwards story. Thoughts on the trope? Yeah, so I understand why some film teachers will say that. A flashback can be a crutch. Sometimes it is a very lazy way to reveal information, right? Sometimes it's a very lazy way to pack information in or have a dialogue outside of the timeline. But to be honest, I think that can be true of any film trope, right? Like, for example, it's a tool. I think it's how we use the tool. For example, I just want to bring up two things quickly, just for the sake of argument. So quickly, slow motion, right? Slow motion. It is a common film trope, right? And people say, oh, slow motion. And when you think of slow motion, you're probably thinking of this. The wildly overused slow motion in Justice League. Like, half this movie is slow motion, right? It's just... Where the fuck? Why would they put all this? Just put the slow motion up. God, here we go. So like half of this movie is slow motion, right? And it doesn't really add anything. It's usually just a better and easier way to picture things in CGI, right? That is an example of bad slow motion. Here is another filmmaker who uses a ton of slow motion, Akira Kurosawa. But Akira Kurosawa's slow motion is considered some of the most prestigious cinema in history, right? The man basically invented slow motion shots and when to use them. And some of them are the most important shots in film history, right? So again, it's not the film trope relative to how the film trope is used. Are there examples of lazy flashbacks in film history? Absolutely. It's gross. Are there examples of brilliant flashbacks in film history? Yes. I think Nolan's Memento is, I don't think of it as much as a flashback, but a total reimagining of how to frame a timeline in a film. Where to begin with the Akira Kurosawa films? I've never watched any. Yojimbo or Seven Samurai. So Lenny kills Natalie's boyfriend, right? Does Natalie know he did? Because he pulls up in the car and clothes. Does she let that go? I don't feel like there was much of a resolution to that bit of the story. I think Natalie was trying to figure that out. I can't really remember who Natalie is dating. She might be dating the cop. No. She was dating the guy in the beginning. But then she uses him to kill Dodd. Yeah, she was dating Jimmy Grants. My favorite part of Memento is that every time I watch it, I don't remember everything. Yeah, true. What do you think happens to Lenny after? I think Lenny repeats this pattern until someone stops him. How do I feel about Brick? Brick's great. If he doesn't remember, is it still tragic? I think it's very tragic. One juxtaposition that's really interesting, and it's a question that the film begs, is which one's better? Is it better not to remember it all and to go on kind of in this totally ignorant bliss where you're just helpless? Or is it better to remember everything, like his wife, who ultimately could not forget and ended up taking her own life, essentially, because she was so unable to forget? So basically his wife committed suicide. I mean, more or less. Yeah. Have you seen Nolan's timeline explanation? Yeah, we just watched it. Can you explain the scene with the escort? I think he's just lonely and sad and wants to experience something. Who is Sammy? I mean, a little unclear, but most likely a con man. He used her for a wake-up call? Yeah, basically. He was trying to remember to forget her. My bad, I'm door dashing and missed that. No worries, Plavy. Anyway, was the time stuff in Tenet a gimmick? No, I don't think so. So I think a lot of these questions are just questions that don't really have a definitive answer. Or if they do, they're up to you to decide from watching the movie over and over and over again and coming to your own conclusions. Because ultimately, I can answer these questions for you. But the truth of the matter is, 90% of the questions you're asking are answered by unreliable narrative or narrators, right? They're being answered by a guy who has no memory, a woman who is manipulating the shit out of a guy with no memory, a crooked cop who's turned a guy with no memory into a serial killing assassin, or just fractured memories that don't really line up. So a lot of this is going to come down to what you want it to be. But I think ultimately what you can take away is if you structure a film in a very clever way, you can make a lot out of a little, right? Remember, if you watch this film chronologically, there's no mystery whatsoever. That's the rub, right? The structure of this film is really what gives it wing. If this thing played out front to back, it wouldn't be this kind of like brain worm that so many people are hooked into. So many people love this movie. As I said, for a lot of people, I don't know why, this was Baby's first Criterion film. This was their first adventure into the strange world of movies that don't look like movies are supposed to look. Because of that, a lot of people have an attachment to this movie. I don't know if it was featured early in the $5 bin at Best Buy, but a lot of folks talk about this film, ask about this film. This is one of the most requested films for film night ever. Like, by a wide margin. So I'm glad we were able to finally watch it. Because I had a ton of fun. And I hope you did too. Anyway, another Wednesday, another film night. If it was your first time seeing it, let me see. Whose first time was that, seeing that film? Wow. Lots of you. Who liked it?
I'm a stud.
All right.
Aussie.
Who hated it?
Shit from anyone.
The more I think about it, the more I think he did kill his wife with the insulin. I think the two guys that he made up in his head that killed his wife were based off of the guys Teddy and Natalie were trying to get him to kill. Junkies / drug dealers.
There you go. So there never was a break-in. There's another interpretation. Someone just said no. You're too much like me, chatter. Let people have their opinions. Anywho. That's film night, guys. I'm tired. I'm beat up. And tomorrow we're going to finish alone. But another Wednesday, another film night. I hope I've broadened your horizons. I hope I've entertained you. I hope I've made your Wednesday, your week, your year, your month a little better. If it was your first time here, I hope you come back. Tomorrow will be a longer stream, I promise. If it was your first time here, raise your hand. If you're one of my long timers, you know who you are. Thanks for always coming back. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for everything you do. I can't do any of this without you. So I'm going to send you over to Nandre. He's with Barry. They both got their boobs on. You'll see what I mean. Anywho, I'm going to go rest.
Stud.
Yes.
Ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone.
This movie reminded me of The Truman Show. I don't know why. Great movie.
It reminds a lot of people of Eternal Sunshine. But I could see Truman Show too. Anywho, stay dangerous. Good evening. Good night. And I'll see you tomorrow.